If you have ever wondered why there seems to be an attraction for the younger ladies to like the older guys, well, this is the video. Think of likes of George Clooney, Ryan Reynolds, and also Barack Obama. There's a fascination that women have, and today's video is, well, going to explore that common theme that younger women have in order to want to date the older guys. So stay right there, don't move an inch. My name is Anna, and get ready for the video. There is a theory that they were neglected by their fathers, which means they're more likely to want to date an older guy. A study by St. Mary's University discovered a link between neglected daughters and also their need for attention from an older man. We could say to fill that void they never had, also known as daddy issues. So she is seeking something similar to her father to fix her broken heart, or maybe for some words of wisdom, advice and guidance. However, she may not always be looking for an actual romantic relationship. Exactly, but it could be she just wants to seek out an older guy for wisdom, life mentorship, whatever it may be. However, things may progress into a romantic relationship. But for the majority of women that have had, let's say, less than ideal relationships with their own father, they do seek someone to protect them and to care for them, which typically comes down to, well, from an older guy. Now, Sarah Scantlebury and Darren Fowler investigated into the actual attachment styles of women that actually dated guys 10 years older than they are, and it turns out there is actually no correlation, no link to a daughter with daddy issues wanting to have a romantic relationship with an older guy. It's just maybe it can happen accidentally, sort of. They are responsible and mature. I guess now, please do not hate me for this, but guys kind of grow up a lot slower than women. There's no rush for guys, let's face it. And the average couple of the same age can potentially reach conflict when they feel that, I don't know, he's lacking in responsibilities, he's not pulling his weight or doing enough, and it could feel like she kind of does all the work and he gets away with it. Therefore, there would be a heavy attraction to an older man because, well, she feels it would make sense. Women want to date mature guys, they don't want to date teen boys. So they feel that an older guy is much more loving, a lot more supportive and loyal, and he has kind of gotten over the whole boys will be boys phase. They know what they want in life. An older guy knows what he wants out of life, and that's because he has failed a couple of times, and right now he has solidified what his interests are, his values, beliefs, and, well, his core values. So this is something that we all get eventually later on in life, and a woman really does appreciate this in a man. And why wait for a guy to grow when you can just date an older guy? He has ambitions, career goals, and he is already potentially halfway to actually achieving his goal. They are more caring. Older men are much more patient. They want to work things out in a relationship, and they refuse to play any games at all. They have become, let's say, masters of communication. Well, that is due to their experience of past relationships. They have had many arguments, many conflicts before, therefore their current conversations are more soothing to a lady. She's gonna feel listened to, respected, valued, and very much desired. So we could say that her emotional needs are either met more often with an older guy, or the assumption is that her needs will be met with an older guy because, well, let's be really honest here, not every older guy is guaranteed to have figured his life out, but we kind of assume this from a mature person. They are not afraid of commitment. A younger man is, he's definitely afraid of commitment, isn't he? He has that fear of losing out on his freedom if he has a long-term relationship. But for an older guy, he is much more open to wanting to settle down with someone, which becomes the perfect match for a lady. The sugar daddy approach. Yes, you probably, I don't know, expected to hear this, so let's talk about it. But it is true, a lot of younger women are, for the potential of the time, attracted to an older guy for the financial security that he does bring. Whether it's trying to find a cooperating sugar daddy who, you know, showers them in gifts, Land Rovers, houses, all that jazz, or predominantly just a guy that they can have a relation with that is also financial comforting, that is able to treat her once in a while. They have a wisdom about them. An older man has a lot of topics for discussion. His life experience, well, it's brought around a lot of wisdom, and this really does intrigue the younger woman. He has had a past, he's got many different stories, and she wants to hear every single one of them. She never gets bored hearing about his adventures of life, and it's a great attraction point for a younger lady. They are experienced in relationships. We briefly touched on this a little bit earlier on in the video, but the older man has had his fair share of long-term romances, one-night flings, and he's also experienced a lot of heartache, which means he's practiced his skills. He knows how women think in a relationship, and he has a bit more experience. He has learned what he wants in a partner, which is a great thing, and he is willing to make things work and compromise. His wild phase has passed, and he definitely understands that a relationship, well, it takes a lot of time, commitment, and trust, and they become partners, and this really helps each other to grow if there is an older man involved. They do not mind housework. Ask a guy in his 20s to hurry up and clean the kitchen. He may avoid doing it completely or do a bad job so that you never ask him to do it again. However, with a mature guy, he will naturally clean without being told to do so. This is because he has learned the responsibilities of living and taking care of himself, and he is much more willing to help his partner out with jobs to ease up on the amount that she actually does. Plus, he probably wants to have a clean kitchen himself. They keep their head down. Mature guys avoid drama and confrontation. They prefer the route of just sitting down in a civilized fashion and being able to talk things out in the open with someone and come to some form of beneficial agreement for every party involved, which basically means they hate having arguments. It's just unnecessary drama. But the younger man, however, is readily available to prove his worth and to expel his manliness if he has been questioned. This has advantages in social situations because let's say at a bar there's someone that's had a little bit too much to drink and an argument kicks out with the older guy. So the older guy knows he doesn't want anything to do with this, so he will try to avoid those ugly arguments and try to diffuse them as quick as he can. Therefore, he is more socially aware of his actions and his words around everyone, not just bar people. And obviously this means he's a lot better at picking up on social cues. They have less emotional baggage. A mature guy will not enter a relationship with an ulterior motive or even a lot of emotional issues brought on from his less than ideal childhood. If he did experience something like that, he has most definitely worked things out throughout the years, and he knows that he shouldn't enter into a relationship with lots of issues going on. He's strong and stable and ready to have a successful relationship. Therefore, this proves that women don't want to date guys with baggage. They want to just date guys that have figured themselves out so that they don't have to essentially mother them. Despite what the media tells us ladies, we don't want to fix a guy and build them up. We want them to be on our level to begin with. There's less chance of infidelity. A younger guy doesn't want to feel tied down, which is what we talked about briefly. He may give in to temptations that are all around him and cheat on his partner to fulfill his needs. Whereas a mature guy really does understand the turmoil of cheating. He knows what it creates, the emotions it brings, and he really wants to work things out in his relationship to, well, stop the cheating temptation for the whole grass is greener approach, or he would just leave the relationship if he is not happy. So a woman wants to avoid that heartache phase and go straight to an older man that will not cheat on her and values her for her. They are more romantic. An older guy understands that a relationship needs to be nurtured and the other person needs to have their love language met continuously. They need to feel desired and told regularly how much they actually mean to each other in order for the relationship to actually work long term. A younger guy misses out on this experience because he's not had it, and he would just assume that buying flowers on Valentine's Day 2 years ago was enough to keep that passion burning in a relationship. But an older man, through this experience of his own relationships, knows in general, not always, but usually what a woman wants, and he knows he has to keep making the relationship work. They don't lie about what they want. Of course, a friends with benefits situation can still happen with a mature older guy, but he is honest about what he wants. He won't go on a couple of dates and then string a lady along with no exclusivity to then say he just wants things to be very casual. Instead, he will be honest from the get-go about his wants and also his emotional needs so that he doesn't hurt the other person. They are experienced in the bedroom. Dating experience not only brings that romantic gesture and obviously sweet nothings to the relationship table, but it also brings some experience in the actual bedroom as well. So a woman would feel more drawn to an older, mature guy as she assumes that, well, he knows a thing or two about what a woman wants in the bedroom. So he is assumed to be, we would say, a god under the sheet, potentially. This doesn't always guarantee it, but it just means she can enjoy the moment and she hasn't got to worry about having to teach someone those types of things. You know what I'm talking about, when she can just go straight to someone that has a whole bag of everything without her having to try too hard. We made it to the end of the video. If you like this video, give us a huge thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It will make my day. And you can even go one step further and get your name up on our superfan board. These are some amazing people that actually support the channel every single month. And if you want to know more about that, then click the description box below to find out some more. Have an amazing day. See you soon.